You can proceed.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, participants, we are about to start our next session, which is about agroecology and indigenous knowledge systems. Um, Before that, I would also like to welcome our speaker for today's session. I would take this privilege to welcome our second esteemed speaker for the day, Dr. Kalpana Balakrishnan, Associate Professor, Head, Department of Biotechnology, K.S. Rangasamy College of Technology, Tamil Nadu. Dr. Kalpana is a distinguished academic and a researcher in the field of biotechnology. She earned her PhD in biotechnology from the Indian Institute of Technology, Madras in 2021. She also holds an MTech in Nanoscience and Technology from K.S. Rangasamy College of Technology 2010 and MPhil in Technology from Periyar University and MSc in Biotechnology from Alagappa University. With nearly 2 decades of teaching experience, Dr. Kalpana currently serves as an associate professor and head of the Department of Biotechnology at K.S. Rangasamy College of Technology, a position she held since December 2023. Dr. Kalpana's research focuses on next generation sequencing, microbial biotechnology, nanotechnology, and metagenomics. PhD thesis analyzed several early childhood caries tooth biofilm microbiome and explored the worm quenching efficiency of plant extract against various bioforms. She has also conducted notable research on biosynthesis of silver nanoparticles and protogenesis from soil. She has published extensively in prestigious international journals with key papers on the synthesis and characterization of nanoparticles, extraction, and bacterial diversity in childhood caries. Her work has been presented at numerous international conferences. She has been recognized with several awards and is an active member of several professional bodies. Dr. Kalpana is a life member of Indian Society of Technical Education, ISTE, and Asian PGR Society Genome, Indian International Forum. Her dedication to research and teaching and mentorship continues to inspire the students and colleagues. So, through her session on agroecology and indigenous knowledge system, Dr. Kalpana will be sharing us the agricultural sustainability wisdom rooted in ecological understanding. Let's extend a very warm virtual welcome to Dr. Kalpana Balakrishnan. Ma'am, the floor is yours now.
Good evening, Professor Kalpana. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to the FTP session.
Thank you, Netra, for your wonderful introduction. Thank you so much. Shall I share my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Yes. Now is it visible? Like full screen is visible? Or the slide?
Yes, ma'am. Now it's full screen.
Thank you. Good evening, one and all present over here. Almost it is 7:30. So I'll not take much time, and I could see some enthusiastic participants. Almost 74 participants are here. And I would like to extend my thanks to Dr. Pavitra, who has invited me as a resource person for this 6 days online FDP program on green technology and solutions, sustainable development towards agroecosystem. Thank you, Dr. Pavitra. And I would like to extend my sincere thanks to the institution and our own host institution, KS Rangasamy College of Technology, where I am serving as Associate Professor and Head Department of Biotechnology. So today we are going to see about agroecology and indigenous knowledge system. So yeah, almost you people are listening towards 1.5 to 2 hours of lecture. Shall we take a quick activity here now? I just want to understand, because in previous session through Dr. Pavitra, I could able to understand that diversified people are here in this at LFTP. So just I'm putting this link in the chat box. Try to answer that. To understand, what do you know about agroecology? So your time starts now. All the participants can put it. Hope the participants are here and could anyone able to answer that one? Because I couldn't able to see any answers here. Participants, please let me know whether you could able to answer it or not.
Can we say, ma'am, agroecology is eco-friendly agriculture?
No, ma'am, I have put a link over there. Just to put a word in chat box, I have put a link.
Ma'am,
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
submitted the answer there.
Yeah, you could able to submit the answer there.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Now I'm
We are
getting
able
the
to submit the
responses.
answers.
Submit your
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah.
the
Now
link.
I'm started to get the response.
Yes.
Yeah, madam, we can
Participants
able to
are
submit the
requested to
answer.
kindly respond to the link.
Hope the participants can able to see the respond window.
Yes, madam. Yes, we can
Yeah.
able to.
Crop environment studying eco-friendly. So 9 out of 50 participants have given it. It's quite 9. Sorry, my net is getting slowed. So these are all the answers from you: food production method, eco-friendly agriculture, sustainability, ecology for crops, agroecology. I'm asking the question about agroecology. Interaction, right? Crop environment, studying ecological principles, farming methods, food production approach. So thank you so much for your response. We'll again move to the PowerPoint presentation. Hope the screen is visible. The presentation screen.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Yeah. It's an integrated approach that simultaneously applies ecological and social concepts, principles to design and the management of food and agricultural systems. So it is an integration of everything to put together, not only agriculture, the social concepts, how we are going to design the ecosystem and how we are going to manage the food. Because of food management, how the agricultural practices can be done in a systematic way. So everything put together, we call it as agroecology. So which aims to optimize the interaction between plants, animals, humans, and the environment, where we take into account the social aspects that must be addressed for sustainable and equitable food systems. This is the definition given by Food and Agricultural Organization of United Nations, that is the FAO. So here I share a video, a short video which describes about the agroecology. Ma'am, please let me know once if you couldn't able to hear the voice of the video. Whether voice is audible?
Our food systems today face major challenges.
Ma'am, sorry for the interruption.
Yeah.
But we are still able to see the Mentimeter screen.
That's what I asked.
Just seeing the Mentimeter screen.
Okay. Now the presentation screen is visible. It will be a plain green. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's plain. Yeah.
Audio is audible?
The video is, yes, ma'am. Video is playing. It's audible also.
Okay, fine.
Our food systems today face major challenges. They are responsible for 1/3 of global greenhouse gas emissions. They are degrading 1/3 of all soil on Earth and are massively contributing to biodiversity loss and water scarcity. Chemical-intensive monocultures also fail to provide adequate livelihoods. They contribute to the displacement of communities, social inequalities, and fail to deliver adequate nutrition for all. Today's prevailing farming model is not fit for purpose, but change is coming. We can unite and transform our food systems towards social and environmental sustainability. Agroecology, working with nature, not against it, is already providing solutions, and it is increasingly backed by scientists, social movements, farmers, and governments. They have come together in a coalition with the mission to accelerate the transformation of food systems through agroecology. Since its launch in 2021, the coalition now brings together around 300 diverse members, both governments and organizations, and that number keeps growing. Our work is anchored on a set of agroecological elements and principles of promoting healthy environments and healthy people, strengthening resilience, and securing social equity and responsibility.
So why we need to go for agroecology? So a short film which has been telling the importance of agroecology, where we need to live in the nature and live along with the nature. We should not go against the nature, because the using of pesticides alone, it creates a lots and lots of pollution to the environment, and only certain crops are being again and again cultivated. Deforestation happens because of the cultivation of the particular crops which has been fed to the people. All these things should be addressed. Not only plants, animals, and other things should also be taken into consideration for this agroecology. So 10 reasons why we should support the agroecology is, it strives for the transformation of food system, which follows HLPE's CFS, that is 13 principles, and FAO's 10 elements, with that governments, farmers, researchers, and civil society organizations agreed upon. So everybody put together, they have formed the principles and they are working towards that. The agroecological food systems are based on diversity, resilience, and equity. They can tackle climate biodiversity and hunger crisis together. The third one is the cross-cutting principles, where the food system can help to achieve the sustainable goals. And the fourth one is to conserve the richness in the biodiversity and to protect the nature. They restored the degraded land and ecosystems because of the extensive utilization of the chemical fertilizers. The land has lost its fertility. So to restore such kind of degraded land and ecosystems, to produce healthy and diversified, nutritious and culturally appropriate food. The fifth point, or the fifth reason, is to have or to can improve the resilience of family farmers and rural communities and to boost local economies and markets. The sixth one is to value the ancient local practice, where it comes the indigenous knowledge system, IKS. The indigenous means each and every community will have a specific knowledge system that has to be transferred from one generation to another generation, and it adds value to the overall well-being of the human beings. Even in our home itself, we'll have an indigenous knowledge system which has been passed from our great grandmother to through the grandmother, through our mother to us. So this is what the knowledge transfer system happens. But nowadays, for agriculture, we have lost that indigenous knowledge system. It is not required that all the crops can be cultivated in any kind of land variety. So that has been processed only in the tribal areas, which has been extensively covered by Professor Moni yesterday. Then someone's mic is on, please switch it off. So that kind of ancient local practices and knowledge should go in amalgamation with the innovations and technology-based conditions on solutions to integrate the traditional and experimental scientific knowledge with the technology. So that is what in a famous personality who said that the engineers are the freedom fighters in the current era. So why? Because the engineers are the one, and the science and technology people are the one who can bring in the ancient knowledge and integrate it with the technology, and it can be useful for the future development. So agroecology can sustainably feed a growing population, while we can conserve the nature and strengthen the communities. And the eighth one is it provides a direct contact between the producers and consumers. So nowadays, slowly it is gaining the market, the supply chain and the blockchain technology, everything which directly reaches the farmers to the consumers, that is the producers to consumers, which leads less intermediates and more affordable food for consumer and better remuneration for the farmers. And the ninth one is the potential urban agriculture through the design of diversified, productive, resilient urban farming. And the last one is the social justice and defends the rights for farmers, farm workers, indigenous peoples, food producers, including women and youth. So most probably the agroecology focuses on women and youth, because in this system, they have many case studies have found out that women and youth are strengthening their role at the center for the food system. So this is what the 10 reasons that are there to support the agroecology condition. So the principles of agroecology as per the HLPE and by FAO. So 13 principles in 2019, it has been framed from the FAO, which has given at 10 elements. So the 10 elements are, which has been designed by FAO are synergy, diversity, resilience, culture and food traditions, circular and solidarity economy, efficiency, recycling, human values, so human and social values, responsible governance, co-creation of knowledge. So the co-creation of knowledge is a part of this 13 principle. Nowadays, the agroecology goes with this 13 principle, starts from the recycling, input reduction, fairness, connectivity, participation, social values and diets, land and resource governance, synergy, biodiversity, animal health, soil health, and economic diversification. So we'll see it one by one. What is it? The agro system, these two, the 13 principles have been diversified into two systems. One is agro system and the other one is food system. The agro system consists of 6 parts and the food system consists of the remaining 7 parts. Recycling comes under the agro systems. So this preferentially uses the local renewable resources and close as far as possible resource cycles of nutrients and biomass. So all these, the entire presentation, I have taken the resources from Agroecology Coalition. So where they have made it into a beautiful format of each and every sector, taken a case study. At the end of this presentation, I have given the references. So each and every sector, they have given a case study where they have involved almost all the South Asian countries and also the Western countries. And they have taken the indigenous knowledge system, worked with the urban and rural people, and they have come to this observations and examples. So the observations are almost 1/3 of all the food produced globally is lost or wasted. This is surprisingly the truth. 1/3 of the food we produce is literally wasted. This is the scenario in India as well. We claim that India is an agricultural country, but still we are wasting a lot. One side overfeeding is happening, the other side poverty is there, where people are logging for food, but still it is wasted. This is only because of the lack of proper post-harvest management technology that we have, and the food supply chain representing the economic losses, so which is almost estimated around 1 billion USD per year. So underutilization of organic matter and renewable resources from farm to fork. This is very true. Almost after harvest, all the plant parts are literally wasted and it is underutilized. So this can be recycled. Nowadays, the biofertilizers, biopesticides, organic farming technology, everything has come out. So that enhances the renewable, that enhances the organic matter to be utilized in a better way, and to have to protect the renewable resources in a quite wise manner. So for example, recycling of organic matter, waste water and waste recycling can be done. We can have a proper rainwater harvesting system. So the reusable and recyclable packaging materials can be taken up, and development of small and medium-sized enterprises or cooperatives producing organic fertilizers can be encouraged in each and every urban area, or for every clusters of the villages. So this can create the local job opportunities and the revenue generation model for the people living in rural areas. So the input reduction, so this can reduce or eliminate the dependency of continuous purchase of the input items. So say for example, increased soil, water and air pollution is continuously happening because of the high use of nitrates, phosphates and synthetic pesticides. So these can be reduced, and most probably again and again the consumption of these items is increasing the rate of production as well. So the farmers are highly dependent on the synthetic inputs, where the prices are very volatile. It depends upon the commodity, and which requires certain resources. So this leads to the decline in the soil nature and the soil fertility, and the surface of the soil is getting contaminated. This affects the beneficial microorganisms and the biodiversity which is there in the soil. Thereby, the soil is losing its capability to produce a nutritionally rich plantation crops. So this leads to decline in seed-eating birds due to pesticides, and because of this, the seed production is also getting lowered. So in the previous presentation, it has been asked that the sustainable seed system. So this is one of the things which is required to concentrate on to have a good seeding system. So for example, diversification of production, say for example, in the same area, different vegetables, honey, wild or foraged foods and herbs, non-timber forest products, native local fish species can be go one in one. In few countries, even in the maize field, fishes were grown. So the mostly in maize field, say for example, the rice field, the water will be completely stagnant for the good growth of rice. So in the stagnant water, the fishes can be grown. So this is what agroecology. And we can have a safe and nutrient preserving on-farm or cooperative based storage, agro-processing or transformation. So the production or the local input production for distribution like seeds, seedlings, trees, biofertilizers, biopesticides can be enhanced, and it can be based on the farm, and these things can be produced based on the indigenous requirement. Each and every soil will require an specific or customized or personalized input of biofertilizers. So that can be used over here. The small enterprises development and support in agro-food value chains can be enhanced. So this will support a short regional diversified value chains that supports the local food system. So, and also this can extend its supports to youth and women entrepreneurship. The farm-based non-agricultural activities can also be enhanced, like crafts, agro-tourism, eco-tourism, services, cooking classes, school visits can be done with these things. So coming to the soil health, to secure and enhance the soil health and functioning for improved plant growth, particularly managing the organic matter and by enhancing soil biological activity. So this is the major issue why the agroecology is required. So here the soil health and fertility is getting decreased because of the overloading or overgrazing or pesticide application, soil erosion, desertification, impacting soil biodiversity, everything that yields up to 50% in some part of the world due to degradation of soil and climate change. So this will lead to the loss of soil health in terms of the loss of soil to absorb the carbon, impacting the agriculture's capacity to mitigate climate change. So that, and also it will reduce the water retention capacity of the soil. So these are the main observations of the soil health. To improvise the soil health, what can be done is the examples which has been given over there. Continuous monitoring of the soil and assessment of the soil health and its biological activity can be evaluated in a regular practice. So for this system, in our institution, we have initiated a hub called Sidra Hub. It is a satellite-driven rural development approach, where we get the help from Indian naval system, the satellite images of any farm area can be obtained if the farm areas, the geographical locations has been shared, and Through the satellite image, we can see whether that particular land which has been cultivated is getting affected with any disease or not, whether it is over fertilized or under fertilized. All the data can be driven through the satellite image. So the precision farming can happen. So now we are helping out the nearby local rural community peoples with the satellite driven rural center. So especially for soil health. So when we can see to that, the minimal usage of pesticides or herbicides or any fertilizers can be adapted, and multiple practices to enhance the soil health for better carbon sequestration, like vermicompost, permaculture, use of biostimulants and natural farming, integrated diversified farming and organic culturing. All these things, the combined, it is not a only one single one, it should be a multiple integration of the practices. So an integration of animals for manure. So nowadays we can see that people are utilizing the integrated farming system. A simple integrated farming system can be in such a way that the people can have a chicken farm, the chicken or hen farm, the goat farm, and which is going together, and below the goat farm or the chicken farm, they have the aquarium, fish aquarium, and the water from the fish aquarium is fed to the nearby agriculture land. So this is an integrated farming. The droppings of the chicken or the goat will be fed to the fisheries, and the droppings and the water where the fish has been grown is highly fertile. So that will be taken for biofertilizer production, and that can be routed to the plant growth. The land use management and prevention of soil erosion can be minimized via tracing, zypets, mulching techniques, and permanent land cover planting for preservation of hedges. So the elimination of heavy soil and the soil structure damaging by machinery can be prevented. So the resilience here is improved resilience of people, communities, and ecosystems is a key sustainable food and farming system. And diversity is essential for agroecological transitions to improve food security and nutrition while conserving, protecting, enhancing the natural resources. The next one is the animal health. To have a better farming practices, the better animal health has to be ensured. So ensuring the animal health and welfare is essential. What are the observations in today's the thing is increased resistance of humans and animals to antibiotics. This is a very threatening one in the society, where the humans and animals have been exposed to various kind of antibiotics, and nowadays we people are getting resistant towards the antibiotics. So the next level antibiotics are being invented in the market, but still we are facing a lot of problems because many antibiotic resistant microorganisms are being developed in the society. So this will increase the risk of pandemics and zoonosis in large intensive animal rearing systems. So this leads to increased awareness of animal welfare. So what can be done for this is work with resilient, locally adapted and naturally helpful breeds, and promote responsible research on these. Align number of animals to carrying capacity of land, water, and shelters. So the animal farming and the agricultural farming should go one in one. Species appropriate environment, example, free range, grass-fed ruminants, foraging fowl, outdoor, ideally all year around. So this is what is the species appropriate environment should be created over there. And high standards for animal welfare, example, the animals should be free from stress, hunger, thirst, castration, or other medical interventions only when necessary. Nowadays, it is a routine one. So, because animals were not allowed to graze freely, it has been grown up in a very, very controlled environment. So no separation of mother from young, all these things should happen in the natural farming system. An ethical killing, including in fishing, and no routine slaughter of baby male should be practiced. Integrated pollinator management system can be happen. Elimination or reduction of the use of synthetic feeds, hormones, medications to ensure healthy diets, which can increase the use of organic feed and natural remedies. So this technology, or by concentrating on the animal health, the people, community, and ecosystem can improve, which can lead to the sustainable food and farming system. And coming to the biodiversity, this is a very, very major important parameter in the entire agroecological conditions. So this maintain and enhance diversity of species, functional diversity and genetic resources, and maintain biodiversity in agroecosystem over time and space at field, farm, and landscape. So can I get a quick answer from the team or from the participant? What did you know about biodiversity? You can leave your comments in the chat box. Biodiversity means. I need some quick answers. I just want to understand what do you know about biodiversity? Hope the participants are in line with me. I have put the question in the chat box. Thank you, Dr. Gayatri. Unicellular and multicellular in the same environment, various kinds of flora and fauna and living together and depending upon each other. Thank you, Bona. Yes, great. So I just move over there. So biodiversity is the one you can see over here where I have given a picture. Everything, all, ma'am, as it has been rightly pointed out by Bona, it's a flora and fauna together, all together in the same environment. Say, for example, I'm growing money plant in my home and I'm keeping all the rooms and my corridors, my entire my space of garden filled with the money plant. Does it leads that I can varieties of money plants? Can I say that as a biodiversity? No, that cannot be that cannot be taken as a biodiversity. So the similarly, when I have only a single rice field, I cannot say that as a biodiversity. So how the biodiversity can happen is a rice field should be there. In on the drench of the rice field, we can have some palmyra or some banana plants, and we can have some coconut trees. All these things. I'm just simply telling what can be done. It's not a monoculture system. It is a multiple crop culture system. Say, for example, I do not know how many of you know about the Miyawaki garden system, where a cluster of different varieties of the plants were grown together in a small place, which can be converted into a very beautiful, a small forestry appearance. So that is biodiversity. A single species in one particular place, we call it as a monodiversity, like it's a monocrop or monoculture. And the genetic source should also be different, and different species, different functional diversities, everything should go with each other, should live happily. So that we call it as the agroecosystem. So the biodiversity and agrobiodiversity have been significantly dragged, impacting food insecurity in quantity and quality, as well as climate change. High vulnerability of monoculture system that leads to diseases, pest attack, and climate change. So this leads to the dramatic alteration of plants and animal genetic heritage and increased dependence of global food production and a very low diversity of products, contributing to loss of nutritional value of the foods. So what can be done for this? That can be done through the diverse nutrient-rich crops, species, and varieties of uh, plants, including local, traditional, indigenous, or orphan crops. What we call it as orphan crops is which is very, very nutritionally highly rich in nutrition, but it is not cultivated in a bigger manner. That we call it as orphan crops. And locally adapted breeds and varieties. Example, animals, trees, crops, fish, pollinators, pest predators, wild companion plants, everything. Everything, if we can identify and grow them in a particular place, since it is from the indigenous system, it will grow easily, helping out each other, protecting each other in a synergistic way, and it grows good also. So that leads to the conservation of forest fragments around the farms, conservation of villages into woodlands. Multi-year crop rotation should be done. Multi-habitat approaches, example, land use diversity and landscape level. Biological soil fertility and health measures to enhance local and natural pollinators. Say, for example, the biodiversity and food system, these are responsible for 70% of terrestrial and 50% of water biodiversity lost. This is from the very surprisingly, we have numerous number of plant species in the world, but only 12 plant species and 5 animal species provide 75% of global food supply. Wheat, rice, and corn makes up to 50% of the world's staple food. 87% of the US dollar 540 billion in an annual global agricultural subsidies are detrimental for biodiversity. Example, the use of pesticides. So agroecology and biodiversity convention, it goes with the three major objectives like equity, conservation, and sustainable use. So this is what the biodiversity plays a major role in agroecology. Coming to the synergy, this enhances the positive ecological interactions. Synergy means it goes with each other. Integration and complementing each other amongst the elements of agroecosystem. Say, for example, the plants, trees, soil, water, air, everything which goes synergistically or interacting beneficially with each other. Now, what we could able to observe is this alteration of ecological interactions is because of hyper specialization of agroecosystems and homogenization of landscape. The better example which I can give is the tea plantations, the coffee plantations, which has been done in the beautiful hilly area. We could able to see only monocrop culture is being planted over there. And because of that, forest has been destroyed, and that the biodiversity will not be there to protect to improve the crop like tea production, coffee production. The more and more amount of fertilizers has been used that leads to the soil to degrade, and the soil erosion is happening then and there in many of the hilly areas. So air, soil, water, everything is getting degraded. So how this can be improvised is to redesign the diversification of farm elements that can increase the synergy. Say, for example, intercropping, farm animals, agroforestry, and everything which we can be put together will lead to one beautiful environment where each and everything will act as a source for the other one, which is a food system. It's an ecological food system. The animals depends upon the plants, and it improvises the plants depends upon the animal droppings or in whatever it is. The connectivity between elements of the agro-system and the landscape, symbiotically and complementary role of plants and farming animals. So integrated pest management habitat can also be done. Say, for example, planting flowers to attract bees. This integrated landscape planning and the territorial approach leads to improved ecosystem services. Coming to the economic diversification, on-farm incomes by ensuring small-scale farmers have greater financial independence and value addition opportunities while enabling them to respond to demand from consumers. But nowadays, this is not happening. The farmers, the producers are getting very low value, but the market rate will be very high. It is not directly reaching out the farmers. The increased tendency towards specialization weakness, the economies of households and territories by increasing their dependence on a limited number of productions. And reductions in the share of added value that is acquiring to farmers to benefit of downstream in this sector, which is mainly depends upon the processing and distribution. So the push and pull economy, where the push is the demand and the pull is the supply. So here, this kind of balance between these two can happen in the agroecology, where the agroecological diversification or economic diversification plays a major role, where the farmers are directly connected with the consumers. Because of this diversification of production, example, in the same land, as it has been said in the previous slide, varying the agroecological conditions or designing the farmland and making everything synergistically producing together, different vegetables can be grown, and with the help of attracting putting of flowers which can attract the honeybees, honeys can be collected, and small foraged foods and herbs can be grown then and there, and some timber value products can also be integrated into this. So this will, what it will happen is, even if one crop is failing, the other will give revenue generation to the farmers. So this can also keep the environment safe and preserve the nutrients on farm, that can lead to the good transformation of the farm-based local input production of distribution. Say, for example, the seeds and seedlings can be distributed over there itself, and the biofertilizers which has been produced in the local farms can be utilized by the nearby farmers. So all these things can go in one in one. So all this comes under the agro system. Now we are going to move into the food system. So the food system depends upon the agricultural production system, processing, distribution, marketing, human health and well-being, and environment. Everything goes together in the food system. So coming to the first thing is the participation, encourage social organization and greater participation in decision making by food producers and consumers to support decentralized governance and local adaptive management of agriculture and food system. So now what is observed is there is a lack of transparency and democracy in food and agricultural division. That makes the international projects development is happening, which is not including the farmers and indigenous peoples or local communities. This is a major observation observed. So to overcome this, centralization or vertical approaches should be given over to the where the local farmers or the indigenous farming practices, people who are practicing the indigenous farming system can be brought together. Say, for example, here the participation of women and youth is tremendously changing the entire system through the self-help groups, and nowadays we could able to see other than rice, the millets are gaining the momentum. So many people gaining the knowledge from the local tribal people, how to take care of the millet production and all those things. And it has been making into all the people, especially women, that have been grouped together, and the knowledge transfer has been done. Those people are going and practicing those things and coming out with good products that can benefit both the peoples. So the deliberative and consultative democracy, such as citizens' juries or participatory monitoring or budgeting mechanisms, can help to overcome such a kind of situations. So, right awareness and capacity to climb the right holders or accountability, and the strengthened organizational capacity for participation and planning, everything has to be done. So this can make a sustainable and effective governance mechanism at different level, local, national, and global level. The co-creation of knowledge, though enhancing the co-creation of knowledge, it's an horizontal sharing of knowledge, including local and scientific innovation, especially through farmer to farmer exchange, which has been given in the FAO. I'll just click on to the link. So all the thing which has been given over here has been mentioned here in the Food and Agricultural Organization of United Nations, that is FAO. So they have an agroecology knowledge club where they have what are all the responsibilities and practices and definitions, and many case studies has been given over here. You can just look around it. So what are all the practices that has been given over here to enhance the indigenous knowledge system, and how the local produce can reach the market directly without any middleman. And continuous educations has been given to the farmers, especially for women and the young people, where they can convert it into an agripreneur or agri-entrepreneur, and they can be self-reliant. Coming back to the presentation. Land and natural resource governance, to recognize and support the needs and interest of family members, smallholders, and the farmers who produces the food as sustainable managers and guardians of the natural and genetic resources. So what is observed now here in this land and natural resource governance is the big companies are coming into a major play role, especially the seed industries, where they produce the seeds and they give it to the farmers, and they say the farmers how it has to be grown and what has to be, they take the produce. But this will lead to the loss of indigenous people and local communities, because the small land owners cannot go compete with the bigger one. So that is the major difficulty for the smallholder families, especially the women, to access the land. And also the grabbing of water resources and natural resources due to the production of water intensive crops, mainly the oil palm, sugarcane, cotton, rubber, maize, everything is exploiting the nature. Such a kind of plantations should also be curtailed, and very many useful plantations are still there, but those things need to come into plantation crops in near future. So this can be done with the protection of traditional knowledge system, promotion of the right to food and food sovereignty, to integrate the seed governance in emphasizing farmer managed seed system. It should not be a corporate managed seed system. So that is the main thing, where the agroecological practices ensure the farmer should hold the right for their seeds, and the land can be given as a like a land tenant can be taken up, or the tenure, or the small holders, the families of farmers can produce the food. That can be the control can be in their premises. And in the case of water farming or the coastal farming, the ownership and access to natural resources should the small holders should have the ownership, and the indigenous peoples and local communities should come forward. We need to encourage those peoples, get their knowledge, and if we start to practice all those things, this agroecological improvement will happen both in the environment and to the society. Social values and diets. So this it is to build the food system that depends upon the culture, identity, tradition, social, gender equity for local communities, that provide healthy, diversified, seasonal foods, culturally appropriate diets. So this we are majorly missing nowadays. And the seasonally and culturally appropriate diets were not followed by us even. So what are the observations? Or the traditional diet plan we have totally deteriorated with because of the social relations, the disappearance of the local cultures, and high import of cereals and the consumption of agro-industrial products. So this leads to the malnutrition, and the health is getting affected. Because of this, we could able to see nowadays a lot of obesity. uh, the young age people are affecting with the cardiovascular diseases, high risk of cancers, and India is topmost in diabetes. All these things because of the loss of appropriate, traditional, culturally appropriate diets. So overconsumption of energy rich and processed food is the main reason for these things. So what can be done is, through the awareness program and through these programs, the cultural identity can be given. So the gender equity, women and youth empowerment has to be done. The inclusion of indigenous practices, not only the farming, and also for processing the food and storage of the food, and how we have to culturally connect with the local communities, or should be go one in one. So agricultural based family farmers have full access to resources and decision making processes. So this has to reach all the people, so that can enhance the locally produced, high value, highly nutritious food can be accessed by the local community people. So by promoting this, we can have a healthy, diverse, and culturally appropriate diets that leads to the agroecological contributes to the food security and nutrition while preserving the health of the ecosystem. So the fairness, this is the major thing which focuses on the fair trading options between the producers and the consumers. So support to dignified and robust livelihoods who all are engaged in food system, especially the small scale food producers, based on a fair trade, fair employment, and fair treatment of intellectual property rights. So what is observed nowadays is this agri-food chains have a lot of remuneration and influence between different, and increased inequalities has been observed between the dominant agriculture and the food system. And health and safety problems are intensive in working conditions in agro-industry sectors. So, and also the increased dependency on purchased inputs. So what are all the things required for the agricultural land, and restrictions on the farmers' seed and patenting of the seed. This leads to the risk of increased privatization, and that leads to the farmers to suffer a lot. So the fair trade policy making should be happening local, regional, and international markets, so which can enhance a decent job and working conditions. And also protection of the traditional knowledge and promotion of fair intellectual property rights can be enhanced. So say for example, open source seed should be available, where any farmer can take up any seed according to their agroecological conditions. They can sow the seed and they can produce the farm produce. So this can restore the link between producers and consumers. It can provide innovative solutions to live within the limits of our planet. Connectivity. So this ensures the proximity and confidence to the producers and consumers through fair and short distribution networks, and embedding food systems into local communities. So current global trade, which highly concentrates on the sectors, long value chains, and remoteness from decision-making bodies. It's an unfair remuneration for producers, low bargaining power, and influence in the agri-food chains by the bigger consumers or the decision-making bodies has been observed. And competition of local productions with highly subsidized imported products. That is one of the major challenge nowadays the people are facing, which leads to the low production cost. So what can be done now for this is the re-establishment of connection between the consumers and producers, emphasizing connectivity and trust can be which can almost nilling the effect of the intermediates or lessing the intermediates should happen. And education around the seasonal and regional foods products should be given to all the people. The re-establishment and reinforcement between the communities and the public and organizations to support the local farmers markets work cooperatively in a community supported agricultural system, and a community restaurants, community kitchens can enhance all these things work together where the producers and consumers meet each other without any middleman. So that is the connectivity. So what are the agroecology in action? The story from the background is since 2021, this agroecology has been in action. So the beneficiaries are almost 57,487 farming families using the agroecological methods as per 2023. And the regional seats, the 41,057 people had access to the regional seats. As I said, the seats should be an open source one, and we can able to overcome the food shortage in 2023 for 21,040 households. So all these things I'm just talking about the rural environment where the equity was not there. So the agroecological transitions for our future is many things has been planned, which is going one and one and integrating with each other. The matrices, the digital tools, private and public incentives and investment, everything is coming in together in a global view, where the agroecological incentives and investments for is happening globally, and that can integrate the matrices into digitally traceable tools that can enhance the or strengthen the co-creation for sustainable business models in agroecology smart living landscapes, that we call it as ALL. So where the technology meets the indigenous knowledge system, in future it will have a very good transition. This transition can happen by developing studies, tools, training programs, partnership at multiple levels. Say, for example, the farmers, students, and the business people, policy makers have to work together to scale up such a kind of approaches and practices to inspire to or to make the principles of agroecology happen worldwide. That can easily shift towards the sustainability. These are the references which I have taken for this work. The session is open for question. Hope I have make it on time. So I would like to listen from the people if they have any questions so far.
Participants can now ask the questions.
Hopefully, since it is almost they will be very eager to have their dinner. So
Yes, ma'am.
I take this opportunity to thank the organizing committee of the greening the future, advancing agricultural economy and sustainability through technology and innovation. It's an FDP, online FDP, supported by AICTE ATL. And thank you the management of Dayanand Sagar College of Arts and Science and Commerce, Bangalore, for giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge of understanding on agroecology and indigenous knowledge system to the wonderful participants over here. Thank you, the organizing team, and Dr. Pavitra and Dr. Subbalakshmi, ma'am, for inviting me for this FDP. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your deeply engaging and thought-provoking session. The discussion on agroecology and indigenous knowledge beautifully reminded us of the power of tradition, community, and ecological balance in building the sustainable future. We sincerely appreciate your valuable insights and
Netra,
time you
one
devoted to
second.
this
Netra,
program.
am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Before you are formally concluding, Pavitra ma'am would like to have one or two sentence. We'll ask, like, hear from her. Pavitra ma'am.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah. A special thanks to our today's resource person, Dr. Kalpana, who is my friend and well-wisher for encouraging me to apply for the AICT Atal FDP. Kalpana ma'am, your guidance and confidence in me truly motivated, and I'm very much grateful for your support. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Pavitra. Thank you so much for your acknowledgement. Thank you.
Thank you, Pavitra ma'am, for that sweet note about Kalpana ma'am. And yes, Kalpana ma'am, we sincerely appreciate your valuable insights and the time you devoted to this program. Thank you, ma'am. So yes, participants, with this, we come to the close of day 5 of our faculty development program. I request all the participants to fill out the feedback form for the session that is posted in the Zoom chat box, and it's also there in the WhatsApp group. I would also like to thank both our eminent speakers for their enlightening contributions and talk. I would also like to thank Department of Dayanand Sagar, our Principal Dr. Babu, Vice Principal Professor Hemant Upal, MBA Director Dr. Venkatesh BR, BBA HOD Professor Rekha, IKC Coordinator and Research Coordinator, and to all the participants for their active engagement, and organizing committee for ensuring the smooth conduct of today's session. So, participants, tomorrow we'll be gathering for the final day and valedictory session, marking the end of this wonderful week of learning and collaborations. I would also like to alert all the participants that tomorrow's session will begin at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Kind request for everyone to join on time. Thank you all. Have a pleasant evening. Please do fill out the feedback form.
Thank you. Shall I leave the meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.